Your ego is your worst enemy when you're learning a language. It's your worst enemy in life. What does this mean? I'm reading a book called Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. And actually, I've just noticed that it's red like my jumper here. I didn't do this on purpose, but so Ego is the Enemy. This is a book that I read 2 years ago, and I'm rereading now because I think it is important to understand who your real enemy is. We think that our enemies are outside, so we think that person criticized me, so he is the enemy. That person insulted me, he is the enemy. Well, actually, it doesn't work like that, in my opinion, and in Ryan Holiday's opinion as well. Your own ego is your enemy, your real enemy, and it's the only one who, it's the only thing that you should fight. Yeah, it's the only thing that you should be at war with. But what's the connection between learning and ego? Well, there is a chapter here. There is a chapter in this book called Become a Student, and there's another one called Stay a Student. Well, before I read, I want to read out a couple of sentences, a couple of passages from this book. But before I do that, let me tell you, I was trying to process the information here, the information that I got from this book. And I realized that if you're a lower level learner of English, so if you are an intermediate, maybe elementary intermediate, okay, learner of English, you are maybe afraid of making mistakes, and you might try to avoid speaking with other people. Actually, let me tell you this. Yesterday I went to the dentist, and we talked about, it was a new dentist, okay? I'd never been there before. It was a new clinic, and the dentist asked me, about my job, and I said, okay, I'm an English teacher. And he said, oh, so yeah, I have no problems in reading and listening, but when it comes to speaking, I can't speak. I'm terrified. He said, I'm terrified. I feel embarrassed. And I said, well, it's normal. You never speak, maybe. Yeah, I never speak. I didn't study English very well in school. So at this level, if you feel like this dentist, okay, well, guess why? I mean, why are you afraid? Why do you get embarrassed? I think, after reading this book, that it is your own ego who's preventing you from getting out there and speak confidently. Because you don't want to look stupid in front of other people. Maybe you're a dentist. You're highly qualified. You've studied a lot in your life, and then when it comes to speaking about your hobbies with a person who doesn't speak your language, you're like, you freeze, and you feel embarrassed, and you don't want that, because you think, I'm an adult, I've got life experience, I'm qualified, I don't want to look like this. I don't want to look like a child who's speaking, who can't speak, who can't put sentences together. So I think this is the result of what your ego is doing to you. Okay. This is what happens at lower levels. So your ego is protecting you because you feel that you should be more, you should look more intelligent in front of other people by the way you speak, by the way you can use English, I'm talking about English, but I can talk about Spanish or whatever other language you're learning. But if you are an advanced learner of English, well, ego is still there. And actually, this is what happened to me. My own ego prevented me from making more progress. And I'll tell you why. I took the C2 Cambridge Proficiency. It's the highest level, the highest test of English that you can take. Okay, it's C2. It's master level, and I took that in 2015. I had worked a lot to get to that level. Once I got my results, once I got the certificate in English, the certificate from Cambridge that said Fabio Cerpelloni C2, I thought, I'm done. I've learned English. That's it. I've accomplished what I was supposed to accomplish. That day, my progress in English, I don't want to say that stopped, but it really slowed down because I wasn't motivated like I used to be. And why? Because I thought, I know everything now. I've got the certificate. I've got this qualification. I'm a C2 speaker of English. I've beaten, everyone else. I am black belt, if you do karate. I'm black belt now. There's nothing else to learn. That was what subconsciously happened to me. This was my ego. Like, look at me. I can speak English. I'm a C2 speaker. I can now, relax, or I have nothing else to learn. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. I'm not saying that you should, it's not that, I'm not saying that I should have kept on studying like I used to, but I think I made a mistake in my mind thinking like that. It's not that I thought, it was more subconscious, but I'm sure that this is what happened. It was because I felt accomplished, fulfilled. I've achieved my goal. Stop. Let me now share a couple of passages from this. This is from Become a Student, from the chapter called Become a Student. And it says, you can't learn if you think you already know. Well, it's nothing revolutionary, but think about this. You can't learn if you think you already know. And then it says, a true student is like a sponge. A student is self-critical and self-motivated, always trying to improve his understanding so that he can move on to the next topic, the next challenge. A real student is also his own teacher and his own critic. There is no room for ego there. I love this. Then there is another passage here that says, I've lost it. Where is it? Become a student. Okay, it's always stay a student. Here we go. Let me see if I can. All right, it's this one. Learn from everyone and everything. Too often, convinced of our own intelligence, we stay in a comfort zone that ensures that we never feel stupid and are never challenged to learn or reconsider what we know. And this is exactly what happened to me. The second we let the ego tell us we have graduated, getting the C2 proficiency certificate, learning grinds grinds to a halt. So learning stops. Well, when I read this, I thought, well, this was me in 2015. That's it. Well, this is a brilliant book. I think you should read it. Actually, I'm now thinking I could open a book club on this. I could open a book club and see, and so we can read it together. Yeah, I'll think about this, because you don't need to read one chapter. I mean, chapters are not connected. Every chapter tells something, and you don't have to read it in chronological order. So you can just open it and read whatever. So this is what I wanted to tell you about the danger that the danger of a big ego, or not necessarily a big ego, but your own ego is what is trying to prevent you from learning and from making further progress. This is what happened to me, and I think if you're honest with yourself, probably you will see that this is true, because we all have an ego, and we all have this enemy inside us that is trying to, to make us feel that we are more important than we normally are, that we actually are. Our ego is that thing that makes us reject negative feedback. There's actually a chapter on feedback here. So, do you actively seek negative feedback, or do you? So, seeking negative feedback, I mean, do you ever ask, how can I improve? Please tell me how I can improve. Please tell me what I'm doing wrong. I want to know. Well, not everybody does this. Maybe we are more, it's more pleasant, it's more enjoyable to hear, you're doing great, you are the best, you're the best learner in the world, or I don't know, whatever. We like good words, right? We like to hear positive feedback. This is what nurtures, this is what feeds our ego. But there's a lot to learn in this book. There's really a lot to learn, and I love this kind of this philosophy. Okay, I'm thinking of opening a book club now. Right? I'm thinking of opening a book club, and if you want to join my newsletter, I will let you know. If I'm. Will I open a book club? Yeah, I will open a book club. I'll make an announcement in my newsletter. You can join the link. I will put the link here. I hope this is helpful. I hope that this made you reflect in a way, because reading this has really made me reflect and also reconsider some of my beliefs, which is something that we should do. All right. Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.